I thought we were
Yeah, I don't
having all
know.
these people back for speculation Sunday,
Oh yeah,
but none of them.
and it starts right now. I guess Speculation Sunday starts like right now, eh?
Nearly over for me.
It's over. What is it,
Not,
Monday?
no, no, not yet. It's 5 o'clock Sunday afternoon. Only
Oh,
got a
okay.
few more hours.
Oh wow, you're in the future.
I am in the future. You want the lotto numbers?
What do you think is? God,
No, go ahead. I'm laughing with a lot of number two.
what do you think is like? I wonder what the true layout of the Earth is. That would be interesting to know. Do you think it's like Google Maps, or is it something different? Is that something we can know, the layout?
Who knows, man? Who knows?
Yeah, I know. I wonder. So, like, what do you guys think when you look at the sky? If you just had to guess, what percentage of the sky are you seeing at once?
Well, it wouldn't be much at all, really. I don't know what the percentage would be, but overall,
Try to throw a number on it. Would you say it's like under 10%, over 10%?
oh, man, I'd have to say under 10%.
I would say probably under 10%. Yeah, I would say it's very small,
I wouldn't even know how to estimate that.
right? But it does seem like, well, I've heard people say like 30%, like Globers or whatever. I don't know. But it's like, there's no way you're seeing half of the sky or even half of the sky from your vantage point. Like I'm in, right, like I'm in California, right? I can barely see. It's a huge state. Like barely see like my area that's around me right now. So if I look up, does it really expand out that far? Am I really seeing that much? I feel like it's really, really small. So then my next question would be like, if you go up and look down, what percentage of the ground can you see looking down? I would also imagine that's fairly small as well. But Globers have this
Well,
weird idea when it comes to flat Earth that they should be able to go up and look down and see like the whole Earth and then know the layout and know the shape and stuff like that. I don't think that's even close to being possible.
well, isn't the height of the ISS we're only supposed to see about 10% or something?
Right. They say the height of the ISS is like 250 miles, and like you'd only be able to see. It would still look super flat and all this stuff. I don't know what percentage
Yeah.
it would be. Very small though. So I don't know. Globers have weird ideas when it comes. Like, oh, why don't you just go up, look down, take a pic, and then trace the lines around, and then you got a map. It's like, no, you're not able to do that. And so then I don't know what the layout of the Earth is. I mean, there's a bunch of different maps like Google Earth and Google Maps and stuff like that, the rectangular. But I don't know. Would be nice to know
But the
though.
problem is, all these maps are used for different purposes, and they all end up with distortions due to the way they create them. So, and this is why they
Right.
need these different maps. Yeah, I don't think it can be done. I don't think they can do it. And
Yeah.
yeah, they end up with these distortions, and they have to make a new map or something different.
Right. Right. Yeah. I mean, but then again, we're able to travel to these places, right? We're able to like, take a flight to Australia or whatever. But then again, I don't know if that necessarily means we know the layout. You know, I don't know, dude.
You don't know. Well, I'd be really interested to have a map on my phone while I fly to see which routes they take. I've never done that, but to be honest, I flew to the US, I flew to Canada. I don't even know what direction we flew off from. I just got on the plane, put my bag in the top, and made sure I had my movies ready. I wasn't thinking about
Yeah.
that shit.
That's a good point. I mean, like, so the dude, like, I can literally, since I'm in such a poppin' city, there's planes flying in and flying out, like, literally every fucking 3 minutes. It's like crazy. There's a plane flying here all the time. And so, what's interesting though is when I'm seeing planes take off towards the Pacific Ocean. Like, I'm on the coast. So, people are flying in, but then they're flying off over the ocean. Dude, like, where are you guys going? You're flying over the Pacific Ocean. Where the hell are you going?
Well, I just took 2 flights 3 weeks apart, and I know the town I was flying into, so I know the main flight path, which comes from the west. And if as you come towards the airport, and they come out, and you land out near the coast. Now, the second flight I took 2 weeks later, or a week later, same flight, same time, same locations, and we came in from the ocean. So the flight paths, I think, just maybe depend on the day, because we came in from the same flight time. Everything was the same, except we came in from the complete opposite direction.
Interesting. Well, I know there's some airports that you could like take off and land, and they'll do like a U-turn in the sky or whatever. I know that they did that at the Cincinnati airport, which strangely enough is not even in Ohio. Dude, my hometown airport is not even in the fucking state. It's in a different state. It's so weird how they do that. Yeah, the Cincinnati, Ohio airport is in Kentucky, bro. So weird. So like, well, I remember taking off there. They did like a big U-turn in the sky. We started going into the right direction, but I don't know, dude. Weird stuff. I mean, it is interesting that they figured this stuff out enough to be able to travel from country to country, but also there's places that they don't go, right? They don't go to the south. They don't fly over the south or whatever. Do they even fly over the north? I don't think they cross over the north either, do they?
No, they don't. There's no fly zones over both.
Yeah, I wonder why though. Like, is it something to do with magnetic, or it's just like dead area? I don't know. Any speculation on that?
As far as I was aware, it had to do with temperatures, and if there was any plane crashes or anything out there, that they can't get out there to recover you, yeah? And you're going to ruin their pristine environment.
Yeah, that's a good excuse. Oh well, we shouldn't fly there because we don't have a way to rescue you. All right. I mean, I get it. Of course, I get that. But like, there's probably a deeper reason why they can't do it or they won't do it. It's probably more that they can't, right? Or I don't know. Like, I
Yeah,
understand why
I
they
know.
couldn't go south. You know, there's no like north to south flights or whatever. I don't know, man. This world is really weird, dude. I feel like that's one thing that the Globers, I just get so annoyed by them because they always say like, "Oh, flat earthers are holding us back from advancement." Dude, it's not. It's the other way around. Like they're holding us back. Like,
Well, if you looked at it from a biblical perspective, the Bible actually says who can actually measure it. I don't, if you believe in the Bible, it's not possible. I think we can measure locally, we can measure flat, but overall, who knows what this place actually is? And yeah, says it can't be measured.
yeah, this place is super weird, man. I don't. There's. I think it'd be really nice to get together and try to like think more about this place. That's why I like Speculation Sunday a little bit because we can sort of. You guys have been through different. What's the word? You know, everyone goes through like different avenues to get here. There's many ways to ascend a mountain, but the view from the top is the same. So, you know, we've all become flat earthers through different channels and avenues and whatnot. No pun intended when I say channels. But you know, so like being able to like put heads together and be like, so what do you think? Would be really cool and helpful. But instead, we're like teaching Globers what a citation is and shit like that, or what science is. It's such a cock block to maybe exploring more about this world. Because I sure as hell have a lot of questions, and nobody even asks, bro. That's what I find so frustrating. Is like this place is weird, and I think people just accept. Oh, I just go to work. I just go to school. I just like go to sleep. I wake up. I eat. Like, yeah, but why are we even here? What is this for? What's the whole point of all this? Are we
Well,
just
to
here
be
to
honest,
like make movies and stuff? Like I don't know, man. I have deeper ideas.
I didn't mind some of the things that Whitser used to do and looking into, gravity and electrostatics and all these different things. I think where he went wrong is claiming these things to be correct as what's occurring. Yeah, but like you said, it's interesting to look into some of these other things and see what's actually going on. So I didn't mind
Yeah,
that side of it.
there's so much mystery. Like there's way more unknowns than things we know about this place, and nobody like. It's just annoying that no one even cares. If you really think about it, this place is super fucking weird. I'm sure you guys have had like weird mystical experiences or like coincidences or things that happen that you literally cannot explain or timing things or like you saw 11:11 like 5 times in 1 week or I don't know, just like shit like that. And then like the creator, I'm sure a lot of you guys under rock with her being a creator or whatever, but like what's that all about? Oh, it,
Well,
what?
I had an experience like that where I used to have a security company, so we'd do like patrols at night, drive around to different buildings. So you'd have a sheet you had to follow, and you'd try and mix up all your times every night. And there was one place in particular. It didn't matter how I did the run, how I tried to vary it, what I did. I would get there at 11 minutes past 3 in the morning every single fucking night, and my key number was 311.
You live around here? You live around here? Oh, Hold on, Chad. I'll be back.
Yeah, he's talking to some 304. Now, hey, I just looked up. I googled what is the average height or altitude of commercial airliner? 30 to 40,000 feet. What is the temperature at altitude of 35,000 feet? And Google says, well, it's negative 65 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, so I asked, what is the temperature at 35,000 feet over Antarctica? Negative 70,000 feet. Okay, so that's not very much of a difference. I even asked, what is the temperature over the North Pole? And it was just 5 degrees less. It was like nothing. So temperature problem, is it?
No, maybe ask ChatGPT or one of them why there's no flight paths.
Well, often people say the temperature. Oh, so cold. Oh, so cold. Okay, well, what's the altitude at 35,000 feet over Indiana? Or over you? Well, it's an average of negative 65 degrees Fahrenheit or negative 45 degrees Celsius. Oh, cool. So what's it at the North Pole? Oh, well, negative 70. What's it at Antarctica? Well, negative 70. So temperature is the thing. Just a few degrees difference from the average anywhere else. Well, what's stopping them? The two closest points, the most direct path, the shortest path from 2 points is a direct line. So why would we go around the North Pole or the South? Why wouldn't you go straight across?
Well, according to ChatGPT, there are flights over the North Pole, usually flights between North America and Asia, so like New York to Hong Kong or Chicago to Beijing. And why they avoid the South? No large cities or international airports, weather and navigation risks, magnetic compasses are unreliable, limited ground support for emergencies.
Oh, wait, go back one. You said what? Navigation what?
Navigation issues, unreliable compasses, but that should be over both poles, not just the South.
Oh, who gives a shit when you got GPS? Shit.
So they say that aircraft need to stay within a certain distance to airports. Antarctica don't meet this requirement for most twin-engine commercial planes. But who knows?
Shit.
So they say that aircraft need to stay within a certain distance to airports. Antarctica don't meet this requirement for most twin-engine commercial planes. But who knows?
I'm step away for a second. I'm back though, chat. I don't want to change the subject, but like another thing that I think is really weird about this world is how people can be so fucking broken. I don't know if you guys have noticed, like, like maybe not necessarily all homeless people, but there's just some people that just seem not very human. I don't know if you've noticed this before, but have you noticed stuff like that? Like people who act like, what's wrong with you? Like I can't even fathom ever being like this. And not necessarily. Huh?
Like you mean behavior? Like they're just chimping out and doing
chimping out, dude. Yeah, like bro, like tweaking hard and shit. Like, or like what kind of drugs are that? What does that to people? And I'm not saying like all homeless people are the same. It's like people go through tough times, maybe they just like, whatever. But you do meet some people that are just like hands half down. There's a guy that literally, I've seen him a couple times. He's literally cocked over half, like he's bent over, walking very strange. Or like I've seen people like just like, their mouths are just, they can't keep their mouth together. Or I saw a guy just now, 2 seconds ago. He was like in the middle of the gas station, like pointing at things, like doing weird stuff. Like what is that? Like, I feel like there's not all human beings are alike. I don't even think Globers are very like cut from the same cloth as us. I think that they're different in some way too, but I don't know what that's about. I genuinely don't think that all people are like, not everyone's equal or whatever. What do you guys think about that? Have you seen some weirdo type behavior from people? Is it just drugs? Is it just
all of the above? Mental illness, drugs, and physical disabilities, mental disabilities.
Like I would ask, like, why did the creator make stuff like this? It just seems like there's things that are unnecessary. I think that this life has a lot of beauty and a lot of ugly. I do see the beauty in it all the time. Like I live in such a beautiful place and I meet beautiful women and beautiful people and stuff. And I try to shine beauty out as much as I can, not just like in my looks, but like the way I treat people, I think is very beautiful. And I get thanked for that all the time. But like, but I see ugly a lot too. And I'm so confused by that. Like, what is the purpose of that? Why would the creator make such fucking like shit situations, dude? Like,
well, it's free will. There's free will, and people have it. Like, for instance, in the U.S., the most opportunities to them, and a lot of people just choose poorly. They make
But
bad
also,
decisions.
I agree with that. But like, what about like bugs and like deathly things, like things that are out to kill you and like diseases? Like, what is that, dude? I would love to sit down with a creator and be like, dude, what the fuck, man? Why'd you do this? So
Well,
strange.
from my understanding, if you're looking at the Bible, it talks about this all being a result of sin and Satan, not from
Ooh,
the
yeah.
Creator.
okay.
But I would also say that there's a lot of these things that are occurring. Now we're getting into things we shouldn't be talking about, but I think a lot of these diseases and things have been man-made.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But like bugs though, like animals and certain animals and bugs that are like they're not. They're just like they'll just kill you or whatever, like
Yeah.
scorpions
Well,
and
that's
shit. Like
supposed to
what
be,
the fuck is that?
well, that's supposed to be a result of sin, because if we go to the end, after the end times, when there's a new heaven and earth, it talks about all of these animals and creatures again living in harmony together,
Oh,
including
okay.
people. Yeah, so that's the
Do you
reason
think
given
that
scripturally.
when you say sin, is it that someone was reborn as an animal like that, or that if they
No.
get just stung by that, that's because of the sin or something?
No, it goes back to Adam and Eve, where bitch ate that fucking thing, man, and she shouldn't have done that. Now plants have thorns,
Yeah,
and
thorns
it goes
and
back to
poisons.
and poisons, and now there's blue ring octopus, man. They're gonna kill you.
Yeah, the stuff like that where I'm like, bro, what the fuck, creator? Like, why'd you do that, man? What the hell,
He
man?
didn't. Who did it? The
Well, we
304.
did. Yeah.
And then I wish I
Man,
could just spend 5 seconds in Adam's position, and just be like, "What did you do? Why'd you do that?"
yeah, I know, right? But isn't that us in a
He
way?
listened to his wife.
Don't listen to women, bro. We don't let women lead us, and never again.
They say men are dogs, and
We are
you know what?
dogs.
No, wait. They say, who are they? They say men are dogs. That's women.
Shit, I'm a dog.
Women say that shit, but the women are the original sin. You know, they
True.
were the original sin, and it goes on and on throughout history. They're not little
Princesses, sugar, spice, everything
Yeah,
nice.
no.
Yeah.
Look. You know damn well. You say you're okay. Yeah, okay. I'm a dog, but I wouldn't get any if it wasn't allowed. It takes two to tango.
Yeah.
Dudes are always down for it, but it requires acceptance.
Yeah. Because otherwise, it would be the grape. You know, it would be grape, and we don't do that. That's not cool. I don't support that. I know I'm Mr. Misogyny headquarters and all that shit, but I would never condone anything like that. That's disgusting. Uh, that's not cool. You know, so I do agree. Like, yeah, it takes two to tango for sure.
Dudes are always down.
Honestly, I think they are more down than us most a lot. But
That's my point.
Yeah.
Saying men are dogs is just kind of like
It's useless. It's not even. Yeah, right.
Man, I'm not always down. I got standards.
Shut the fuck up.
no, just I get it. I know. I'm just like speaking like very simply.
No, you're right though. Because like, imagine if you were a 304, you could literally choose damn near anyone, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, and honestly, I bet you like they don't want girls will never tell you the true body count, but it's like I would not be surprised if the average woman's body count is way higher than the average man. Actually, that's probably a fact. There's a statistic out that says like 1 in 3 men in the last like several years are either sexless or virgins.
It
You
gets
know,
deep. It's a deep conversation. It could go on.
it really is, dude. Of course, I agree.
Still going on,
Yeah, no. Well, I honestly think people think like, oh, that's just just like, get over it. Like, no, it's not just like we're just like laughing at women or whatever, making fun of them. Guys are deleting themselves at a very high rate right now, and like that brings like damn near tears to my fucking eyes, baby. Like it really does. There's a lot of good dudes out here, man. Good guys, genuine good dudes who like would do anything for your neighbor, your mom, like your family, a woman, and they're like deleting themselves out of this world. You know, like. It's fucked, and no one cares, dude. No one gives a fuck about these guys, and I think it's so sad. So I think like part of this like misogyny movement or whatever is like trying to bring some awareness so that guys don't fucking delete themselves, bro. Like, dude, it's so sad. It really is.
It's the worst thing anyone could do, and it's the most selfish. It boils down to
I don't know, bro.
you know what I mean?
I
It's the most
forget where they're
selfish
coming from, bro.
thing. No, but it is. It's the most selfish because because it just destroys everyone around them.
Some people don't have anyone around them. You know what I mean? They're just like,
Yeah.
well, fuck it. Well, I don't have anything to live for. Like, I don't know. I mean, we don't need to go full black though, bro. But like,
Yeah,
I
know.
do get where they're coming from. I really, and this world doesn't want you to be like a man anymore. You know, it's fucked up, bro. That's why it's good. I like this little pushback that we have going on. Get back in the kitchen. Give me some sandwiches. Like, it's funny, but like at the same time, you know, we're just it's swinging the other direction. So, oh man, this conversation's gone so many directions. Incredible. Shout out to Speculation Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. This world is so weird, and like, just no one talks about it, bro. Like, I like talking about it because I don't necessarily think we're going to get to any answers, but it's good to flesh it out and remind people how mysterious this place is. It's not just, you know, just like go to school and go to job. Like, there's so much to being just a human being alone. Like, you know, like, I don't know. Do you guys believe in like reincarnation or anything, or do you think you've done this before?
Nah,
One and done? It's like one and done, or like, why did you choose this life before? Like, choose your character type of thing, and like, I can see that as well. I've heard people speculate that you kind of chose this before you came here. I can see that.
There's a lot of instances with people with hypnosis where they come across phenomena like where people have had allegedly prior lives, and they elaborate and they have whole backstories and all that. It's just, well, what is that? You know, nobody knows.
Yeah.
It's a phenomenon, but it's a fact in the world of hypnosis that people come across these things.
Yeah, or like deja vu. What's that? You know, I've had some deja vu recently. I'm like, God damn, it literally feels like I've done this before, and I'm in a new place. I'm in a new everything, and like, how is it possible? I feel this feeling. Like, I don't know. It's stuff like that where I'm like, man, this place is super weird. And there's not a lot of answers, you know. I've heard some good theories. I'm not gonna lie that you guys are familiar with Right the Hand, that guy?
I know the name.
Yeah, he's retarded now. I don't know what happened to him. Like, he's like cracked or broken. He like, hates flat earth or something. I don't know what's wrong with that dude. But there's a guy, he I used to listen to his channel. He had a channel that was really good. Like, he had some inspiring shit. Back in the day, like this was like before COVID. Dude had some really deep shit. I literally would like take notes and like write in my journal, reflecting on some of the things he talked about, and like very introspective. But now I don't know what happened to him. He's like, he hates flat earth and shit. So I don't know what the fuck. Went off the deep end or some shit. But yeah, he had some really good ideas, some good thoughts that I enjoyed. I think he was the one that mentioned about the potential, like, well, you think about like what could you see yourself choosing the life you have today? And like I could totally see that. And it's not like I've had like an amazing life, like perfect life. I've been through some really lows and bad times. I'm sure you guys have as well. But also at the same time, I can still see myself choosing this life with all its ups and downs. And
call it a coincidence or call it whatever you want. But I remember when I was young, I remember this very profound moment when I was just sitting there thinking, and I was like, God, if I could picture a perfect life, I would want a great woman, you know, a great wife. I would want twins, a boy and a girl.
Oh shit, you have twins?
I have twins, a boy and a girl.
Wow. What the fuck?
I know, it's like, oh yeah, but that could have been anything. It's like,
that's just a coincidence. Like, no,
I remember the moment because it was profound in my life. It was like I just remember thinking that and saying that.
Wow, dude.
I got just about everything I really wanted. You know what I mean?
Damn. That's what I mean. I took a screenshot of the meme. Kind of just like that. I might have to post it for you. Damn, dude, that's crazy. No, man, I've been through some shit, boys. I mean, since it's just us here, I can maybe share something with you guys that I haven't really shared before, but I won't go too in depth. But do you guys remember when I was in the library?
Cutting out a little bit.
Oh, here, let me switch microphones real quick. How's this? Y'all can hear me?
Perfect.
Yeah. Well, Shit, hold on a second. You guys remember? You remember when I was in the library? Or no? Some of you guys might remember that. Some of you might. If not, don't worry about it. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But like, yeah, bro.
Oh yeah, that
like,
one time, like the only time
No,
you were
no,
in the
no.
library.
It was not. It was. It was. It wasn't just that one time, bro. It doesn't matter if you don't remember. It's not a big deal. But like, anyway,
Wait. CB, you can read?
shut the fuck up.
I
That's
thought you
funny.
were black, bro. I thought you were blind. I'm kidding.
You guys are hilarious.
He's dark complected though. I saw his legs the other night when he was
You
showing
mean
me
flat
out of his car.
You mean flat earthers can actually read?
That's so funny. No, it doesn't matter. Some people might remember. Some people won't. This was just like 2 years. Damn, 2 years ago. That's fucking crazy to think about. But it was not a good time for me, bro. It was not a good time for me. And like looking where I'm at now. You guys, I was on camera the other day showing my car and shit. I can show you the view from my apartment right now. Shit is. I'm literally looking at Mexico. Like shit's so gorgeous, bro. Like life's good.
I only remember you. I only remember you strolling the
Streets of
town,
Cincinnati. Yeah. Yep.
wherever it was. It's
Yep. Yeah. Well, I mean, just I don't know, bro. I could, I could, I like wherever I'm at right now. I like this, dude. It's good, and I feel like it's only up from here too, which is a good feeling as well. So I don't know. This life is very, very fucking weird and strange.
I don't know your whole timeline, but I know that I remember that you moved, and I remember you were in in Ohio, and now you're
Yeah.
not. Now you're not.
Yeah, I'm in SoCal now.
Yeah, and then now you're in Mexico.
No. I'm in San Diego, but I can literally see Mexico
Oh,
right now from my
got it.
window. Maybe I can show you guys. Is there too many people in here? Let's see. 2,
Yeah,
4,
San
6,
Diego's
8,
beautiful.
10, 12. I could probably turn my camera on this and see. It's probably not the best view on the camera, but I can try. Hold on. What the fuck? Yeah, I got you guys. 1 second. And the view from my balcony is nuts. The view from my bedroom is crazy. Let me show you guys.
Yeah, but you go to Mexico, man, right across the border. It's shit.
Yeah, that's Mexico right there. Like all the lights back there. Like this is all Mexico. Here on my balcony, real quick. You guys can really get a good view. In the morning, it's fucking nuts, dude. The sun comes up over the mountains. That's absolutely gorgeous. Let me show you guys. Let me see what it looks like out here tonight.
I visited my sister. She lived in San Diego because she was in the Navy, and we went over into Mexico, and I forget the name of this club. It was this most ridiculous club. It was crazy. It was right on the beach, and my sister witnessed an American girl getting taken away, abducted.
Oh shit!
She was crying for help, and my sister's just like, "What the fuck am I gonna do?" And she's just looking around like, what am I gonna do? It's a shithole.
Yeah. There's like a. Sorry to hear that, bro. That's really bad. But like all those lights back there, you see those like that bright lights right here, like right here.
Yeah,
That's all Mexico over there.
Yeah, I gotcha.
And then like there's these mountains right here. Like, dude, this looks crazy. Like those are just clouds up here, but like mountains here.
Silhouette.
It's super dark right now. It's super hazy. But like, dude,
So I think
this view is crazy, bro.
I think your camera is enhancing it a little bit. I don't know if it's pitch black or whatnot.
Nah, it's just really, really hazy right now. Like cloudy.
But I see the silhouette of the.
That's not a mountain, bro. That's not a mountain. That's a cloud.
That's a cloud.
That's a cloud. The mountains are a little lower. They're like right
there
here.
it is. The dark cloud.
Honestly, that's a cloud though. You can't see the mountains right now.
What the fuck? All right.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? I mean, dude, it's nuts. But yeah, honestly, when it's nice out, I'll get you a better view. But yeah, there's mountains over here, mountains over there, like mountains over here. Then there's like Mexico. Like shit is
refraction. It's refraction.
Cue the sound clip.
I know. Well, we don't have the soundboard in here, unfortunately.
Hi, Mel. Shit.
I need to move back over to politics, bro.
Wait, you're Mexican?
Holy shit, oh yeah. Dude, I got like 6 people with that the other day. I got you with that, Mike. That was so awesome.
Fuck.
Holy shit, you're Mexican. Dude, it had me laughing.
It's just so ridiculous.
It's
Love
so
it.
funny. Yeah, I love it too. Good times, bro. But yeah, man. What else should we speculate about? Go ahead.
No. I was gonna say the other day I was running an errand downtown, and on my way back, I'm driving and there was an accident, and it was just bumper to bumper for like literally like 20, 30 minutes.
Mhm.
And I'm just listening to you guys just talk, and just it made the whole trip, because it's fucking boring, On my way back, like Castle King was talking with Miggy and all that. I'm just sitting in the car, I'm laughing my ass off. Everyone's just all pissed off, right? And then I'm driving, so it's pissing rain, and one of my fucking windshield wipers like almost blew off. Like it got loose and started flapping around, and it's pissing rain. I'm like, holy shit. In the background, I hear you guys talking. And CB, that's when you brought up the Mexican thing. I'm fucking laughing, in this fucking condition. It was hilarious. Made the day,
Awesome,
the entire scene. But I was mixed in there. I was dead,
Awesome, dude.
Perfect
I'm glad
day.
to hear that. Well, it's like it like literally brings me joy, and I don't know. I know people. I have like a mixed crowd. There's some people that enjoy it, and then some people that really hate it. But maybe they just don't understand where I'm coming from, or like, well, no, we have to be serious all the time. No, dude, like we gotta. It's edutainment. We're educating and entertaining. Like
Fine.
there's a time to be
That's fine.
serious and time to have some fun, and I'm glad that we can have fun. And like we have a lot of older guys.
Like that guy yesterday. Kind of like that guy yesterday. I don't know if you were there. He came in. What was his name? Like Goober Nick or something, or something.
Gorana Dick
Nick
or whatever. We kept calling him Gorana Dick.
Hey, he was complaining like, "Oh, I can't come in here," and basically, I can't come in here and speculate. I was like, "No, you can, but come on Sunday." He's like, "Oh shit,"
Yeah.
He was just bitching that he didn't like the room, or the people in the room didn't like him, because all he wanted to talk about were basically things he can't really confirm. And yeah, it's a time and place for that.
Yeah,
but
a lot of people really don't understand that. A lot of people don't even know what logic is. Like when I've said it to people, it's like, like why don't they teach logic in school? In high school,
Yeah.
And people don't even know what that is. They don't understand at all.
I don't think they want you to. No, but that's just my speculation.
Real quick, guys.
I think I'm
real quick.
Yeah?
You want to talk to Fyodor Dostoevsky?
Yes, sir.
Hey, bro.
Hey, man.
Is this your first time here?
Oh no, I've been around here and there.
Nice.
Here and there. I have not much on this channel. I have nothing really to contribute. I'm just listening.
Have you talked to flat earthers before?
Plenty of times, bro.
What is something like that flat earthers say that you can remember?
Hitler did nothing wrong, but I'm not sure exactly.
Anything else? And catch us on Rumble sometime. We can talk about that. But like, we're on YouTube right now. We can't go too crazy.
Oh shit! You're on YouTube? I don't want to say anything crazy. No. Other than that, I can't think of anything crazy.
Other than that, he said. Okay. What are your thoughts on flat Earth?
Well, I think it's kind of silly, right?
Okay. Do you have like a decent understanding of the position?
I mean, I heard, it's a flat surface. The edge is ice wall. Can't get past the ice wall. But it's silly, right?
I don't know if you got the position down. Because I think a lot of people are willing to. What they do is they sort of imagine their own version of flat Earth that's usually pretty sloppy, and they go, "Nah, that's really silly." But that's your idea, though. Like we don't.
Yeah, I know, dude. I know. Like 6 million is silly, right?
You're funny, bro. Yeah, I do agree. But like ice wall, I could post you a USGS, like a government document that talks about an ice wall 19 times. Do you think that has anything to do with flat Earth?
No.
Yeah, so then like I've been hanging with flat earthers for like since 2017. So, and we don't sit around and talk about ice walls. It's not our thing.
No.
But people come here like, "Oh, your guys' ice wall." It's like that's not us, dude.
And the Red Cross, they have a smaller number.
So, did he leave? Oh, he's here. Oh, okay. Well, just how about some simple stuff, Fiora? Do you think the Earth moves?
Yeah, I think the Earth rotates. Yeah.
Okay. Well, why do you think that? Like, do you just like go along with the story, or like you actually like deep down, like you actually think this?
Well, I would believe that rotation would cause the changes in where the stars are aligned every night. You know, as they drift through the sky.
Do you know that Einstein, I think it was, said
Einstein's a
that
fake,
it's
right?
Yeah, I hear you. But it is true that he said that it is impossible to prove that the stars are moving or the Earth is moving or one or the other.
Well, you know, Einstein was kind of a retard, and he stole. He basically stole every other person's ideas ahead of him and just put the cherry on top. And that's why we say everything's Einstein's, because he put the cherry on top, but he didn't do actually any of the work, and he never credited anybody. He's the biggest plagiarist in history.
So he sounds a little bit like Elon Musk then.
What?
I mean, has Elon Musk claimed to do rocket science, or is he a physicist now? Or
No, I'm saying that from what I know of Elon Musk, none of these ideas were ever his. He just became part of the company and took it over. Yeah, he finished it off and then claimed the victories, just like you explained Einstein.
well, I mean, like, yeah, he's just the guy that paid for everything. Sure.
Now, if you go back and have a look at the ideas, then all these projects were projects that he got involved with that weren't his ideas. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you hire a bunch of people and work on a project together, are you not part of the project?
No, you're misunderstanding what I'm saying. That's okay. We're not going to go down that path.
No, go down it. Go down.
That's right. Dostoevsky. Anyway, if you think about it,
hey, come on, say the name. Say the name.
Dostoevsky. Anyway, don't you realize that it is actually true that you really can't tell if something is moving or if you're moving? Because you can't prove one way or the goddamn other.
Well, I mean, if you're stationary, you should be able to.
Oh, how do you know if you're stationary or are they moving? You see, it's the same thing. We're saying the same thing.
Well, something's moving.
Oh, which one?
Does it matter?
Yes.
Why?
Why?
Isn't
What do you mean?
isn't flat Earth like stationary?
Yes.
So you think space is real?
No.
Okay. Why would this be a point then?
Well, I'll tell you what. Well, wait, what? Why would that be a point? Because you said things in the sky are moving. So therefore the Earth is rotating. So I said, didn't you know that? I didn't say didn't you know, but just so you know that Einstein said that. And yeah, Einstein's a fool, but it is true, though.
He's not a fool. He just never credited anybody for his. Everyone else had his ideas before he put the cherry into it.
But what he said is actually true. He can't tell if one thing is moving or you. By just looking up, you can't tell if it's moving or you.
I mean, yeah, that's even if. So the Earth is moving and everything else is moving. So even if the Earth was flat, everything else would still be moving, and the flat Earth would still be moving, right?
That's a lot of presuppositions. You just said that's a lot of presuppositions.
Yeah, but like even if the Earth is round, we're still moving.
What?
If the Earth is flat or round, do you not think we're still moving?
Hell no, dude. We don't move. Should I ask him my question or no?
Well, here's the thing. I know you're going to get into science, but hey, you have to back up what you say, right? So, okay, therefore, the Earth is moving because of. Oh, I see shit in the sky moving. Therefore, I mean, like, what do you? You got to back it up.
We'd have all these answers if Hitler was in power.
Point is, you don't have the answers. You just don't know. It's okay to say you don't know and you can't prove it because it's true.
I feel like you're afraid of the truth.
I'm not afraid of the truth. I'd love to find out.
You're afraid of the truth, brother. Let me ask you, how many Jews died in World War II?
Bro. We're on YouTube. We can't JQ right now.
Ooh.
And don't think we don't love the subject.
We can't JQ on YouTube, dude. You gotta chill.
All right, then I'm going to leave so you guys don't die.
Well, hey, guess what? If you don't like Einstein and that idea of his, you'd really not like his idea of gravity.
Okay. I think you're loony for not believing in the round Earth, but you know.
Believe?
The fact that it requires a belief should be red flag.
Yeah. You know what the definition of belief is?
No. What
It's
is it?
easy to look it up, but it's basically if you think something without evidence.
All right. I'll talk to you guys later.
Adios.
All right, bro. Holy shit.
He did better than some. I don't know. Maybe his take was, these guys probably aren't totally retarded.
I don't know where guys like that come from. I don't know. I was joking around saying like the people's champ, like a layman's layman. But you get weirdos who come in like on some crazy time, bro. Like crazy timing. It's like crazy stuff.
I don't know, man. You got to admit that flat Earth is kind of out there in the way of your average, what they call quote unquote conspiracy theories. As a matter of fact, I was bored one day and I looked up what are the top 10 conspiracy theories? Because I need a new one. You know what I mean? And I saw flat Earth. I was like, oh, what a fucking joke. I'm going to debunk this bullshit. Let's look into this. I saw Felix Baumgartner. I saw the curvature of the Earth I was sitting there at a bar eating lunch and I saw curvature of the Earth. I know what I'm talking about. And looked into it and I was like, oh shit, that's all bullshit. These guys haven't even done that. They just pop in another room, you know? They go room to room, just hopping around, think this is real stupid. Yeah, they probably haven't even thought of it or thought about it or looked into it. And even if they do, what do you get on YouTube? You know, you get garbage. It's censored. Here's another thing that I noticed recently. You know how QE comes out with the claim of the pitch data on airplanes? So I'm like, okay, well, all the Globers have to do is they have to look up what instruments record the data and transfer it to, or I'm sorry, what instruments detect the data and then send it to be recorded on the black box, so the NTSB black box. So I started asking like Rock and all the AIs what instruments record pitch data. And then part of their reply says, perhaps at the very end, it says, perhaps you've been researching flat Earth. It says that these instruments cannot detect Earth's curvature. I thought it was funny. They just add this little caveat at the end. Perhaps you've been looking at a flat Earth. Because they say the instruments are magnetometers, accelerometers, stuff like that. And they say that, well, those instruments can't detect the curvature.
Nice. Very nice. Shout out to Oblivion, bro. Appreciate you adding content. I enjoy listening. Get ready for bed soon, chat, but just want to speculate about anything else before we roll up out of here? Let's see what else I got for you guys. What else do I have for you guys?
I want to talk to somebody who knows about quantum physics and the double slit.
Oh, I don't know nothing about that. I know about a double slit, all right. I don't know nothing about no quantum physics, man.
That'd be QE, AJ. He's all over quantum physics.
Yeah, I got to have a talk to him about it next time I see him.
Yeah, he's all over it. He even told me a couple of things about it.
This would fit into Speculation Sunday. I've been talking to somebody who believes that we create our own reality, and they use the example of the double slit experiment, where if you're not looking at the apparatus or you're not trying to measure it, I think you get a particle pattern on the other side. However, if you're looking at it or you're trying to measure it, you get a wave function or a wave pattern. So they're saying that you viewing this alters reality. So I wanted to have a chat with him about that.
Yeah, it's pretty deep. I don't get it. I only get bits of it.
Yeah, they don't get it either. They've got proposals as to why this happened. But I think this guy's making a leap of logic here, because it's not just when a person views the apparatus, it's also if a machine views it, or you're trying to count, or I'm just going to say count for now, the particles or the waves or whatever's occurring. It doesn't just have to be a human. So I think that by stating that it's the human that's creating it through their own mind is a leap of logic. So this goes back to simulation theory or game theory, and this is where they come up with this idea that they're creating the reality, and back to the double slit.
Yeah, it's interesting stuff, that.
You know, one thing that's always puzzled me after coming into this room is reconciling what I was taught or had come to learn later in life after initially being taught one thing, going back to that thing after in the room. What I'm talking about is, growing up, I'm pretty sure we've all heard, we're taught the notion of light being, light is a photon, right? It's a little, conceptually, it's like a little miniature BB, right? With there's BBs, width is an hour. And then later in life, we hear about, after the double slit business, people start talking about the particle versus wave duality business and all that. And then in physics, they'll talk about, or in physics class, they'll describe light solely in the wave sense, right? They describe light as, this color has a frequency, right? Red is so many X nanometers, and in terms of wavelength or how many hertz, how many trillions of cycles per second, the light, they give it attributes of that, right? And then coming in here, I hear the discussion about, light's a particle again. What I haven't been able to piece together is, what actually happens at, let's say, infrared starts at whatever frequency range it is, right? However many hundreds of billions of cycles per second or whatever the number is, all the way to ultraviolet being the trillions and trillions it is. How would it be that you have radiation oscillating just below that and then just above that, where the radiation would be classified as a wave, but then there's this section of the spectrum that is unaccounted for in terms of waves because everything becomes particles and then turns into waves again afterwards? Like what radiation, EMF or EMR, sub infrared is literally just waviness, but then above ultraviolet, it's waviness again. But whatever happens in the middle, like what would,
but they can't actually view these things in reality. What they do is look at interactions, something that they can actually see as such, yeah? Just the interactions that it has.
So might it be the case that everything that we classify as radiation, i.e., energy oscillating at XYZ, whatever, cycles per second, really is just particles? Like all of it is particles then?
That was my understanding. I could be wrong.
Interesting.
But that's based off a very, very, very limited understanding.
Yeah,
But
it's
we
a
do
weird
have
topic.
the globe. We do have the globe is real in, guys. So, how you going? The globe is real?
Take it away.
Which globe is real?
That's a cope of a name if I've ever heard one.
Quite rude to come into someone's house and not even say hello.
Imagine naming yourself Flat Earth is real, guys, I promise.
He'd like someone to explain metaphysics to him or her. What would you like to know about metaphysics? The globe is based off metaphysics. Gravity, metaphysics, distances to objects in the sky, bit more metaphysics.
Hey, when you're done, Viking, let us know. We'll give him a text suppress, and then if he wants to talk, he has to VC.
Oh, I'm here. Let's see.
Yay! There we go. There we go.
Here. Can I see how the sun works in the flat Earth?
Yes, you just go outside and have a look.
Yeah, but, you know, the world's pretty big and I need a scale.
Who's got those sort of eyes?
No one has those sort of eyes. You have a 3D model renderer. I need to see how the sun sets.
How would you be able to like model, that without having that, that God's eye perspective?
So you need to have the vision of God to see that the flat Earth is real?
No, not to see that the flat Earth is real. We can know that's real.
How?
We just need to.
You forgot?
We just
Did you
need
forget
to.
you asked about the sun?
Yeah, I did ask about the sun, actually. That is true. But I'm asking
evaluate
about how we can see. So, like, I go outside and I look at the sun, and the sun drops below the horizon.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. So where does it go?
Well, not under you. Why would you think the sun goes under your feet?
Well, where does it go?
Not under you.
So where does it go?
The same place that
Is the sun Earth?
away from you.
The sun isn't
So where
Earth.
did the sun go? That's not Earth.
Where
so,
would the sun's not Earth.
Nothing to do with Earth. Nothing to do with Earth.
So where does it go, though?
Not underneath.
It doesn't matter. It's got nothing to do with the Earth. It's just
So,
the sun. It's different.
If you know where it
Earth.
doesn't go, where does it go?
Well, it's always in the same. It's always
It goes somewhere else.
Yeah, we all agree it's always in the sky.
Well, no, it's
But
always
where-
above you though. That's what's different between the two of us. Is you think it's below us.
Yeah, that's a matter of perspective.
Okay, yeah, there you go. Just a matter of perspective. It's moving.
Yeah,
away from
so
you.
my perspective tells me it drops below the horizon.
That's stupid.
How is it stupid?
Well,
You want me to record a
the two of
sunset
us-
for you?
no, I've seen it. I go to the beach all the time.
Yeah,
but, like-
so what happens in that sunset for you?
No, I'm just saying, like, think about it. Let's compare our two of us side by side.
Yeah, let's go.
You're saying that the sun goes under the ground, and we're just saying the sun's above you always.
We say the sun goes around. You say the sun goes where? Above us?
Well,
So if the sun's always above us, why at sunset I can look straight across my horizon and see it setting below my vision?
Wait, do you not agree that the sun is always above the ground?
No, I agree.
There you go.
But it's a matter of perspective. Because the sun in my perspective at sunset goes below the ground.
That's silly.
How is it silly? You've seen a
You think
sunset,
the
right?
sun's under the ground? Yes, I just told you. I go to the beach like 20 times a month.
So wait, you're saying it just looks like it does that, but it doesn't really do that?
Well, from my perspective, it doesn't. But if you were to take God's eye, it would actually be rotated, or the sun.
How would you
because of
know
our
that? Have you had God's eyes? Have you had that God's eye view?
Yeah, I've actually had an epiphany about this. Why'd you laugh at it?
That's funny.
Yeah, that's Catman.
That's
That's
cap.
cap.
You believe in the Bible, right?
Yeah, I believe that there is a book that is called the Bible. Yes, I believe that exists. I don't need to believe it. Actually, I've got one in my living room, so I don't need to believe in it.
Okay. So if the sun doesn't go under you, I'm just going to argue with your not argue. I'm going to accept your semantics. If the sun doesn't go under you, where does it go? Does it go farther?
You can't mix cosmologies, so
No,
you
I'm not
can't take
mixing.
the solar system.
I surrendered my
Hold on a
position
second.
entirely.
Well, I'm trying to help you out real quick. So, like, you can't take a flat Earth and put it in the solar system. So we can't say like
So
the sun as it's currently the current lore of the sun doesn't apply to the flat Earth.
So-
So how about this? What if the dude relax?
yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
What if the Earth is the bigger thing?
Racist
puffs.
Is the Earth the bigger thing in the flat Earth model?
I
It
would
is, right?
say that. Yeah, I would say that. Yeah.
And then it rotates it rotates circular around the Earth, right? I've seen that model before. Let me see if I can get it up.
Just like if I have like a big warehouse and there's a light above you.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't light up the whole warehouse. So it's kind of something like that. At least that's one way to think about it.
It doesn't light up the whole
I don't think
warehouse.
it's as crazy. I don't think it's as crazy as people try to make it out. Polio, just relax.
What about like at times where the sun would be above, we'll say like Australia? Actually, let me pull up a map.
How many of you guys are actually flat earthers?
I think like 80% of this call.
Well, really, this is like a real thing, not like an actual joke. Like, oh wow.
Here,
Impressive.
I don't think it's possible to know the true layout of the Earth, but some of these quote models that you've seen before are just helpful visuals for new people. Kind of similar to how you might have like a baby mobile with like solar system above it or whatever. It's not like a representation or accurate or anything, but it's helpful for a new mind to the subject. So, but I'm willing to see what you're going to post.
That's just cool. You guys live stream on YouTube?
Yes, sir. Smash that like button.
I reported you for false information, but yeah.
Good.
I'm joking, dude. But
all right, here's the big one. You go by the circular map, right? Like the UN looking one?
No. Just like I said earlier, that a lot of those visuals that you see, they're just like helpful for new people to the subject who like can't even fathom flat Earth. But that's not necessarily like this is the model, this is the accurate layout of the whole world. I don't think that's even possible. You would need that God's eye view again to see the Earth like that.
That's like a weird special plea. It's kind of sounds
Not
like
really. Watch this. I can,
wait.
hold on.
You cut me off, and I give you a whole time to speak. Hold up. No. Wait. You cut me off, and I let you.
I could just mute you like this, but please continue.
All right. So you said please continue, and then you started talking again. You're funny. I like that.
Yeah, I am funny. But I just think that we're a lot more alike than you might think. Like
I don't think so.
Questions about your. Watch this. Watch.
Well, I was going to say something first before you started going on.
What is the model of your universe?
The model of my universe.
Yeah.
Consists of 8 planets.
No.
They all rotate around
the solar system. The universe.
Oh. You talking about like the entire model?
Yeah.
It's I think it's actually like a circular shape, the entire universe.
Really?
Ever expanding from a single small point.
Circular.
Yeah.
Not spherical?
Oh, you want to go 3D? Sorry, let's argue semantics.
I'm just asking. It's your model, bro. You can present it however you want.
Spherical.
The universe is spherical.
Yeah, ever expanding sphere.
You have a model of that?
Of an ever expanding sphere? I think it's not Galileo. It's the guy that countered Galileo's counter. It's like the model of the balloon.
40 chess.
Balloon model universe.
Has anyone been to the edge?
The edge of the universe?
Mm-hmm.
No. Edwin Hubble.
Okay. So it's not been fully explored.
The universe? Heck no.
Yeah. Okay. So can you like leave it and look at it? Look back at it? Like two
Look back at it. She never this
Look back at it.
Yeah. It's a good song. Without I'm actually just gonna go with your position. Who cares? It's funny. Without God's eye, you actually can't see outside the universe.
So now you're starting to see how we're a lot more alike than you might think. Flat Earth is just like that, where this is like the universe, the Earth, and it's very large. No one's been to any edge, not fully explored. Don't know the shape of it. How would you know the shape of it? Because you don't have God's eye view. We're literally the exact
Dang.
same, bro.
No, not really. I'm a much larger
really.
scale of you. I'm like greater than you.
Well, no, see, that's fine. You can have like you can be larger, but it's those characteristics are literally the exact same.
Not really, because
We just
in
watched
order
videos of, like,
in order to
videos for-
affirm
okay.
in order to affirm your position on being a geocentrist, you would have to say that anything done in outer space was fake.
No,
Correct?
there is no outer space. Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that's my point. Just
Well, it would be more
absurdly better
silly
than
to put it would be more silly to take a flat Earth and put it in the solar system or whatever. That's more silly. Our position doesn't involve outer space. Earth is the universe, which no one has been to any edge, don't know the shape of it. It's very large, not fully explored. It's literally the exact same as the universe. So you're just saying like, well, mine's bigger. Cool. It has the same characteristics though.
Yeah, but characteristics don't entail a position fully. I can say
Well,
my
because you can't
I
look
have-
at two changes.
me and you share characteristics. We're both human. We're both male, hopefully. But I'm not you.
Well, it's fine. I'm not saying that like flat Earth is exactly the same as the universe. But I'm saying it has the same characteristics. Our worldview really aren't that far apart.
Yeah, but if you just argue about how we're so similar, you kind of miss the whole
Well, you
flat
said
Earth
like,
versus globe.
oh, earlier, no, we're not. Yeah, we are pretty much like our worldview have the same mysteries. Where's the edge? Don't know. What's the shape? Don't know. Has it been fully explored?
Actually,
It's-
we've imaged the edge.
You've imaged the edge. Put it in the chat.
Yeah, the edge is actually the beginning. It's weird, right? It's kind of paradoxical.
Let's take a look. We're still waiting for that other model, by the way.
Which model? Oh, the balloon model?
Your balloon. Yeah.
Yeah, Hubble. Let me get the.
Is that
Hubble.
it right there in the chat?
No,
What's
that's the edge
that?
of the universe.
That's the edge of the universe.
Yeah, it's weird, right?
What's
Well,
this POV?
Looks freaky. What's
What's
the
that
POV?
POV?
You ready?
Yeah.
Us.
What?
It's weird, right? It's kind of like paradoxical.
The POV is looking from your eyes to what direction?
No, like, so the edge of the universe in our worldview would be the beginning. So how far you look out, we have light years, right? You look out a bajillion whatever light years away, you're actually looking at the universe expanding. That would be
How do you-
happened ages ago. That would be the origin. It's weird.
From POV though.
From what POV? Actually, technically, it should be Hubble's telescope POV. And where was Hubble?
You tell us.
Let me see where it was stationed.
So not a POV that like not a you don't see this.
Oh no, not with your puny little eyes.
So a Hubble like telescope? In
Yeah,
space
Hubble
sees
telescope
this?
in space.
It's starting to seem more like Cap, bro.
How's that cap though?
How
Let
can
me
it see
watch.
all- How can you see
Yeah,
the outside
yeah.
of something from inside of it?
Let me show you how we're so similar, me and you. Right?
Okay.
I can't do this with a straight face. This is so dumb.
Well, I'm just saying, how do you see the outside of something from inside of it?
Well, I never said it was the outside, did I?
Oh,
Said
that's
it's
what I'm
the
asking what
edge.
this POV is. How is it
It's-
the edge?
We call it the edge of the universe because in our paradigm, the edge is actually the beginning. Wow. I actually just
That's some deep shit right there, bro.
I dropped so much knowledge on you guys. I hope you guys also
Wait, the edge is the center. The edge
Not
is
the
the center.
technically, yeah. The edge would actually be why are you laughing?
So the outside of your balloon is the center of the balloon.
Well, you haven't really I don't know why you're actually laughing at it. Do you know how time works in our paradigm?
Oh, here we
Glob
go.
is zero. Glob is zero. I think I've heard this before. Correct me if I've misunderstood. Right. So this is a snapshot of the cosmic background radiation. Right. And there's a supposition that this took a certain amount of time to actually reach our eyes.
Yeah.
And by calculating that, we're basically inferring that what we see at any given moment is something that would have actually been created or produced or manifested, whatever, X trillion miles
Years
away, trillions of years ago. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're getting a snapshot now of what happened back then, and into the future, it's only going to progress from there. So we're only going to see into the past in that sense.
Well,
right?
Technically, the image there would always be the same, whether taken now or later, because it's always at a set something years ago. But yeah, that's the whole point.
Okay.
So the edge, or what we see as the beginning of our universe billions of years ago, if we look that far out in light years and we take that cosmic background radiation image, that tells us what our creation, or the creation of our universe is. But like, yeah, me and you are not that similar. Like, I actually have God's eye view. You're kind of just stuck on this world.
Yeah, you're the nutcase and we're the same one.
How am I the nutcase if I have to special plead about God's only vision to prove a flat Earth?
That's not how you prove a flat Earth. You just were
Well,
asking like. About
no, that's how you.
No,
that's how you dodge
nobody
it.
said that.
No, that's what he did though.
No, you were asking about the sun.
He said,
"Did you forgot already?
You must have
God's
how
eye
do you
view
see?
of
How do
the
you see
Earth
the
for the
edge
sun
of the Earth
path.
with God's eye view? Without God's eye view. I'm not asking for the sun's path. I'm asking for where does it go?
What do you think the sun's path is if it's not where it's going?
Well, I was answered. Well, it is above you. So, I mean, is that an answer, truly?
What percentage of the sky? We actually asked the chat earlier. What percentage of the sky do you think you see when you look up from the ground?
If I was on a globe or a flat Earth?
Would do both. Do both.
If I was on a flat Earth, I would see all of it.
That's
if I was on a
retarded.
How is that retarded?
Okay, well, how about on a globe then?
If I was on a globe, I'd only see what would it be? It's a really small number.
Yeah, give us what's the number?
Actually, I don't know the number. Hold up. Can I look it up?
Nice.
Can I refer to Google?
What do you think the path is if it's not where it's going?
Well, I was answered. Well, it is above you. So, I mean, is that an answer, truly?
What percentage of the sky? We actually asked the chat earlier. What percentage of the sky do you think you see when you look up from the ground?
If I was on a globe or a flat Earth?
Would do both. Do both.
If I was on a flat Earth, I would see all of it.
That's
if I was on
retarded.
How is that retarded?
Okay, well, how about on a globe then?
If I was on a globe, I'd only see what would it be? It's a really small number.
Yeah, give us what's the number?
Actually, I don't know the number. Hold up. Can I look it up?
Nice.
Can I refer to Google?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, just give us what you think. Like, what do you think, and we can maybe go check and see what Google says. Like, when you look up, what do you actually think percentage you think you see?
Half the sky, maybe.
Half?
A little less than half. Yeah.
Wow.
Less than half, but
That's
half.
a lot.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, right?
I would say I think you had it right when you said it's pretty small. I think it's rather small.
I don't know. I look at a lot of stars.
If you can like when you like how much of you live in like the United States?
Yeah.
How much of like your state do you see when you look around? You think?
Well, I live in a pretty hilly area, so
yeah, I used to live in Hampton too. So what percentage would you say?
If I looked around, I would only see maybe actually.
Like
I'm gonna dox myself. I live in the Chino area. If I stood here, I could see all the way to Upland.
Okay.
I'm in California.
Oh, okay. I'm California too. But like, what percentage do you think would that be?
Oh, that's a really small percentage of California.
So like when you look up, why would it be like so much more though? 15% of the whole world you see when you look up. That don't make a lot of sense though, bro.
Yeah, you ready? On a globe, any one person would actually be, like take a ball. How about that? We take a ball and you put a needle into the ball, and the needle is the person. The top of the needle would be the human's perspective of everything he sees around him, and he looks around at this globed Earth, and he would see a lot of damn sky.
Like you would only see 50% if you slice the ball in half and you were standing in the middle, like looking up, then maybe you'd see 50%. But you're on the top of the ball, and like your horizon would not be all the way down to half of the ball, though, bro.
So how much would you see in your view?
Well, definitely not 100%. That's crazy to think that you would see 100% of the sky at once.
How is it crazy?
On the ground. How is that? How? If you can't do it on a globe, you can't see 100%. And you're just like, what you have to realize is the Earth that's outside right now, that's the Earth that we're saying is flat. So do you go out and see 100% of the sky? No, that wouldn't change for anyone. Like, so I think it's a rather small number, probably like way under 10%. But that's just a guess. I don't know. It definitely is not 100% of the sky. That's wild that you would think that when you go outside and you look up, you're seeing 100% of the sky. That's crazy.
That's technically not absurd at all. Say
That's
take a plate.
super absurd.
I'm gonna use a flat Earth model I always see on YouTube being thrown around. You take a plate.
Those are trolls making.
Okay, hold up. Just see if you agree with it or not. You take a plate, and then you put a bowl over it. That's the firmament, whatever you guys call it. You take a plate, put a bowl over it, and you put yourself, say, in the middle of that plate. Can you see every part of the bowl around you?
You remember when you said like scale of the universe is like they're so huge?
Yeah. So
Let's go
scale
back to
actually,
warehouse, for example.
scale
If you're
wouldn't
in, like,
matter.
a big fucking warehouse, like a Costco times the size, like times 50. You're not going to see the whole ceiling from where you are. Imagine the Earth is way fucking bigger than that. You definitely will not see 100% of the sky.
Well, it's a good thing the ceiling isn't flat in a flat Earth model. I appreciate that.
Even if you had like
no,
a
it does.
domes, even if it was like dome or whatever. Like let's take a Costco and make it the size of California and just put a dome on it. Like that doesn't mean you've got lights above you, right? That doesn't mean you see every single light and an entire dome across the whole state of California. That's crazy. The Earth is so big, dude. It's so massive. Why would you think you could see 100% of the sky? When you're in an actual Costco, you don't see 100% of the ceiling, dude. Come on.
Actually, if you did take out all the
shoals,
you would see it.
Okay, well think about how big the Earth is, though.
Well, I'm just using your scale, and then you want to up the scale a bit. So the Earth
is really goddamn big.
The Earth is big, and it's a dome because the Bible says it's a dome, right? The firmament. Yes or no? Is it a dome?
I don't think. Dome is a specific structure. We definitely don't know the shape. Remember, we don't have God's eye view, so we don't know the shape of this thing.
No freaking way.
Well, dude, how do I know what it's not like you can leave, just like you can't leave the universe and look back at it like 2 Chainz. You can leave the Earth and look back at it like 2 Chainz and say, okay, well, it's shaped like this. It's a circular with a dome on it. That's only trolls post that stuff to make fun of the idea. We don't actually know what the Earth is shaped like, just like the universe.
But you guys just...
we're honest flat earthers.
You guys claim ignorance.
So we accept that which we don't know. We just accept that which we cannot know as yet. And it's not, and we're not attempting to try and create an overall, conceptual model or anything and explain sky phenomena and all that. We're focused on 3 main parts: that the surface geometry, the property of it being motionless or in motion, which we're going to say it's motionless because nobody can detect it moving, and it doesn't appear to be moving. So we'll just accept the reality that we experience as it being not moving. And the idea that we're inside a gaseous pressurized system, we're going to contend that it's adjacent to an ever-expanding vacuum, because of the laws of entropy. So those are the 3 main things that we'll focus on, and the 3 claims of the globe that we'll attack: that there's surface curvature, that the surface is in motion, and that we live in a gas pressure system adjacent to an ever-expanding vacuum.
Gotcha. And the rest you plead ignorance on, right?
Not ignorance. We'll just be honest and say don't know.
That's pleading ignorance.
And we'll also assert that nobody knows certain things.
That's so.
If you do claim to know, we'll say, how do you know, and ask you for the evidence by which you claim to know this thing.
Pleading ignorance is only a fallacy when you're saying it can't be known. There's a difference between saying I don't know yet and it can't be known.
Taryn, I'm going to ask you a question. You tell me if it says like a can't be known. You can only know the Earth is flat or round until you have God's eye. Is that a claim of ignorance?
No, that's not a can't be known. There's a premise that allows it to be known. However, that's an obvious low-hanging fruit cheat card to say that, hey, I have a secret that I can't show or prove, but I have it, and I know because I have this secret that you can never have, and that itself is a fallacy.
So
because you can't prove that you have this secret, and you've excluded them from having it. You kind
of just proved my point. You can't prove that the Earth is actually flat because you don't have God's eye view.
No.
You never will.
Well, I don't agree with any of that.
No?
Okay.
We can prove it without that. But you're asking us about like the shape of its entirety. That is not something I think you can know.
Well, yeah, so that's a claim of ignorance because I don't have God's eye
it's
view,
not.
and I never will have it.
I don't think. It means he's open to otherwise. He's not making an absolute statement. By his words, at least, he's open to being wrong about that. He's leaning in favor of something, but he's not convinced.
I think that's entirely just pleading ignorance, but with a little light twist on it.
It's not
thinking.
It's not, and words matter. I don't think something doesn't mean something. Like if I can say I don't think God is real. That doesn't mean you're not open to the idea. That's not an absolute claim, right? I don't think that there's a fish with 3 arms on it, but there might be, but I don't think there is. See what I mean?
Mm. I'm going to ask you a
I
question.
also don't believe that anyone believes in flat Earth. I don't believe a single person believes in flat Earth.
I'm going to ask you a question.
Who is this
What
guy?
does it? It's very simple. In philosophy, what does it mean to plead ignorance?
I'm known as one of the world's leading philosophers, but I don't identify as a philosopher in philosophy. Everything, absolutely everything, qualifies as philosophy because the definition is so ridiculous.
Okay, so what does it mean?
Doesn't
to
mean
plead
anything.
ignorance?
It doesn't mean anything.
What does
The
it mean
term
to
is
plead
valid. It
ignorance?
doesn't mean anything. It doesn't solve anything. It doesn't do anything.
What does it mean to plead ignorance?
I already told you.
I think your definition was wrong.
To plead ignorance is to say that you don't know and cannot know.
That doesn't say you cannot know.
It's a fallacy, and that's called agnosticism.
You just made a fallacy of lying. The pleading ignorance is not cannot know.
The fallacy called agnosticism.
The pleading ignorance does not say anything but you cannot know.
Yes, it does. Then your definitions are wrong.
My definition is wrong? What's your definition again, Mr.
Just
Karen?
pleading ignorance is an argument. It requires that as a premise that you're making it.
No, the premise doesn't have to require that you cannot know. It only, means that you don't know.
Well, it does. And what does this?
Prove it does.
Yeah, and regarding the topic of flat Earth, how does that connect to the topic of flat Earth again?
Because you don't know. He's been saying nonstop he doesn't know. He doesn't have God's eye, so he doesn't know.
Yeah, okay.
He's pleading ignorance.
No. We remove God's eye out of this. This is just nonsense, irrelevant side nonsense.
Yeah, without God's eye,
I don't know what some Arab named Muhammad Akbar in Saudi Arabia. I don't know what color underpants he's wearing. I'm assuming you guys don't know, right? You don't know either?
No, I know.
You know everything.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Do you guys want to go get a room?
It's purple.
No, I don't. I'm in a room already.
Muhammad Akbar is a freak.
This guy's not really saying anything.
Right, so if you just want to talk about what we think and what we might say, go do it somewhere else. Otherwise, fucking ask us.
But this other guy, he's just saying a whole bunch of circular nonsense.
Well, this guy's a self-claimed philosopher lying about what pleading ignorance is. Or he's just he's just ignorant on what pleading ignorance is.
You're ignorant on what
take it however you want. I am ignorant of, if you want to say that lack of knowledge, lack of information is ignorance, go for it. I don't care.
That's exactly what it is, actually. Lack of knowledge is pleading ignorance. You plead ignorance when you say you don't know something. Say it again, Taryn.
There are 2 definitions of ignorance. One is ignoring the truth, and one is not knowing the truth.
Yeah. So which one do you think I'm using, buddy?
You're using both. You're not making sense. You're just
I'm not using both. Now you're doing. Now, Mr. Philosopher, self-claimed philosopher, you're doing a word concept fallacy.
I never claimed to be a philosopher.
You said I am one of the greatest philosophers, but I don't use that title philosopher.
I am one of the greatest philosophers. I don't identify one. This is a label that many other people call me.
Huh?
What?
There's many labels that people put to me.
Claiming you don't know is
word for word.
I did say something
is more respectable than someone who's arrogant in their belief.
I did say something on the topic.
Go on. You're using the other. You're using the other definition of ignorant that Taryn thinks I'm using. But when someone says pleading ignorance, it's a philosophical term. It means something completely different to cannot know.
You're making claims of an argument, and it's bogus, irrelevant, doesn't solve anything, doesn't do it.
You can look at any dictionary source ever you want. Pleading ignorance just means you don't know something. Get a hobby.
Yeah.
You get a hobby. You're 70 years old on Discord. Start carpentry.
Go get a hobby. Do something.
Do some woodwork. Build me a shelf.
I don't believe that anyone believes in flat Earth, and I have a lot of experience on this topic.
I'm not a flat earther.
I don't believe that a single self-proclaimed flat earther really.
Well, you're actually correct with us.
I'm not a flat earther.
We don't.
Let's go.
Yeah, one sec, bros. One sec. Shut up. You're actually correct with us because we don't actually believe it. It's knowledge. It's not belief.
I mean, know it's flat.
Oh.
And how do you know something is true? Anything?
Well, I'll tell you.
As he mutes himself.
I think someone else might be in. But if you claim to know something, how do you know it's knowledge? And
well, we can watch.
False. How do you know it's true?
Darren.
I know what you're saying, but how do you know that it's knowledge?
How tall are you?
It changes. A bit different than the rest of you, but it changes. I'm around about 170, 180 somewhere. Centimeters.
Do you know that or you believe it?
I believe it.
Oh. Where'd you get the number from?
from various measurements at different points in time, but I'm not too confident on my exact time because it changes. But nonetheless, I don't think you're not knowledge or belief season. It sounds like you're playing semantics just like the other guy was. But however, it is an important topic.
They're two different things. So you can know your height because you measured it.
How do you know? How do you know something?
Well, like your height, you can know it by measuring it.
Okay, but what if someone gave you a different? What if someone gave you a rigged measuring tool that was like instead of a centimeter, it was like 8 millimeters?
Once, right? You heard that saying measure twice, not once?
You're jumping topic before I even finish the point.
Not really. You know something by measuring.
Let me start again.
You can measuring. Well, you don't have to just measure one time.
Is this a one-sided conversation?
Someone gave you a ruler that is 11 inches, and they told you 12 inches.
Can I please say it myself? It was someone without someone talking over me and representing my argument for me.
You've already got your answer.
I haven't even finished. Let me make my own argument.
How about you an actual ruler, not a rigged instrument? An actual.
Can I speak for myself without being interrupted?
You've already been answered, dude.
I didn't ask you to speak for me. Let me make my own.
You already asked your question.
I haven't asked my question. You're scared of the question and dodging and jumping to the next point, making random diversions. Let me make my point and respond to it.
You don't really have a point.
If I give you a ruler and that ruler is not accurate, it's like about every centimeter is about 8 millimeters instead of a centimeter, and it looks to the naked eye, it looks accurate. But on the scale of in scale, as you go longer and longer, the difference grows. And you think you're say 175 centimeters, and it turns out this ruler says you're 170.
Yeah, I've already answered this in 3 different ways.
So based on your premise, you know that you're 170 because that ruler told you.
No.
When that was a false ruler.
You want to just get it out? We've already answered you. We're 10 steps ahead. We've already answered your question, dummy.
I got this.
This is not a only rule that exists, sir.
Does anyone here interact?
Yeah, Taryn, check this out. Check this out. Wait, it sounds like you're trying to claim is that you can never really know anything, correct?
I don't care what it sounds like. Deal with the argument, man.
I'm just
any of you here interact with my point.
Yeah. I'm just chiming in, dude. I just want to get a clear picture.
It's a simple point. I think that a rat, a dog, a fish can understand. So
right.
I can't use
resolve it. Yeah. So check this out. So you, as the owner of the ruler, giving it to somebody, you know it's rigged, right? So they might believe
it. It doesn't matter whether I know it's rigged or not. But let's just say
you're the one that said it was rigged.
Let me finish. You did finish. No, I didn't. Right? Because the premise of the brass tacks of what you're saying is that you can't really know anything.
Okay, I'm going to talk over you because you're just going in circles saying nothing. You're not going anywhere.
You're fucking not, retard. We've already answered you. We're 10 steps ahead of your dumbass. This is not the only tool of measuring in the world. There's an old saying, measure twice, cut once. You don't have to just measure with your rigged tool, dummy. And you can measure it with many different tools.
And that's not even the worst part. So what he's trying to get, the gotcha that he's trying to have is, here's some dummy who measures himself and thinks the number is accurate, but here I am with the knowledge of the rigged tool, and I know that the number that he's getting is inaccurate, and therefore this guy believes he's XYZ feet tall, but I know he's XYZ plus, A feet tall because I know I rigged the ruler, right? But the gotcha in this is he knows the ruler is rigged, but he's trying to frame this as you can't really know anything because of inaccuracies. Yet he comes in here knowing that the ruler is rigged. So he's undermining his entire premise because there is knowledge in this context. He's just trying to fucking sleight of hand away from the fact that there is knowledge that the ruler is rigged to the guy who might believe this to be the case. Yeah, sure, he's got that. The guy actually might believe it. Okay, I got some inaccurate number. I believe it's accurate, but it's not actually accurate. Yet underlying the entire thing is a basis of knowledge in the first place.
Cool.
Like, come on, dude. What, you think we're stupid? Get the fuck out of here.
Also, who just measures something and then goes, you don't double check? Like, this is like one of the oldest sayings in the book. Literally one of my favorite songs in the world. It's like, it's a rap song. He's like, measure twice, cut once. Like, he literally says it in the fucking song. Like, who just, I picked up this shitty ruler, measure. Okay, done. No, you double check shit. Okay. Holy shit, bro. This guy's dumb. And he's like in the chat saying wild shit right now, too. Anyway, the point is that you can know things. I feel like, Mike, you might have hit the nail on the head. We should ask him if he's on Discord right now. Hey, Darren, you on Discord right now, buddy?
I am simultaneously in many places and more than one universe.
I think this is not going to last very long. Are you on Discord?
Really?
Yes.
You're so weak that you can't let people.
Shut fuck up. Are you on Discord right now? Yes or no?
You cut them off and speak.
Yes. Yep. We need a yes or no.
Another lunatic. And one
Yeah, this
bites the
guy's
dust.
crazy. Honestly, this guy's starting to sound really fucking crazy right now. Here, look at he's in the chat saying your life is invalid. What does that even mean? Okay, we'll ask him one more time. We need a simple yes or no. Are you on Discord right now, Taryn?
You'll be removed from society and punished in a less.
What kind of fucking math?
Sounds like he's on Discord.
Yo, man. What do you guys think? I'm about to bounce out of here soon, but Goran. I mean, maybe he could help us out. He's this guy. What do you think of this guy, man?
Hey, CB, don't you think that there's some that we just kind of wish would just keep believing in the Globe? Like, we don't want him on our team almost. Rather not have him be convinced at all. We just had 2 of them.
1,000%. We just had this conversation earlier. Like, stay over there. I think.
Yeah, they don't get to know. They don't get to find out. They don't deserve to find out.
I don't want you over here. You serious?
Right? Like, isn't that the guy I want at the FE party?
Hell no.
Right?
Yeah.
By the way, I sent you a DM. He said he could see from Chino to Upland. Is that what he said? The other guy?
He said some shit like that.
Yeah, he said he could see from Chino to Upland. It's like 25 miles.
28. Holy shit.
So he gave a flat earth proof, not even knowing it.
Wow.
Because you were trying to get him to see, like, to understand that you can't see the whole of everything, you know, and he's trying to brag about how far you can see.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. So, should we give him one more shot, chat? I think we give him one more shot. Taryn. That's a girl's name, by the way. Are you on Discord right now? We need a yes or no.
The US government had a vote on.
Bro, what the fuck kind of time?
He thinks he's just talking, like, he thinks we're letting him, like, continue to talk over us and say what he wants. He doesn't even realize he's muted.
Bro's on weirdo time right now. I don't think he's gonna answer the question, chat. But you guys can do what you want. I'm gonna roll. I need to go to sleep, dude. It's been a great show, great panel. I think when I joined, there was like not much going on, and we got a little activity going here. So, guys, keep the show rolling. I'll be up in literally just a few hours, and we'll keep cooking. So, who's gonna take over? And hope you guys have a good rest of your night. Good day. CB out.
Peace, buddy.
All right, man. Later, guys.
Peace, bro.
Alrighty.